Hi everyone, my name is Renee Pierce and I'm your child's geometry teacher this year. I'd like to welcome you to a new school year. I'm excited to start. I've been teaching here since 2015 and I've taught geometry every year. So I'm excited for a good semester, for a great semester, and to get to know your kids a little better and help them become stronger math students and stronger learners and hopefully stronger people. So I'm here. We're gonna go through Canvas logistics and some classroom expectations. So first, I will point out that here in this middle link, this one that says resources, that will take you to the bottom of our modules page. Okay, and there are a couple of things here I want to point out. Each chapter will have its own page where I will put completed notes, answer keys to activities that we do in class, review packets, that sort of thing. Anything that the students need for that chapter will be there. All right, but this first link is where classroom expectations are linked, and I'm just going to highlight a few things. All right, every day when the students come to class, I'm just asking that they be an active and engaged member of the learning process. All right, so that just means that during direct instruction and during any group activity time, they don't have their face in their phones, their earbuds aren't in, they're not distracted by social media, by their Chromebook games on their Chromebooks, that sort of thing. Research shows that students learn socially, and so a lot of the activities that I design for class are intended to be done as a group so that everybody can benefit in some way, shape, or form. We will have some individual practice time, and again, I just ask that kids use that time wisely. Okay. Recently, we've set up more of a flipped classroom, which requires the students to be responsible for filling the notes out at home. That way, in class, we can have a summary of those notes. I can answer any questions, anything that students are confused about. I can clear up those misconceptions. But the bulk of class is used for that practice time, so that they have me here to answer any questions that they have about the content. That way, they can practice strengthening those math skills. Okay. Um, as a whole, our math department, we are not only are we focusing on making sure that students are not um, participating in some of this bulleted list that does fall under the umbrella of academic misconduct. But we really want to highlight students being academically honest. Okay, so the work that they're submitting is their own; it's not someone else's, and so that grade is representative of what they know. Um, and those grades are not the most important thing. We really want to focus on building a solid foundation of our subjects. Um, so what we are focusing on is students being academically honest, so that we know where they're at and we can help them build that solid foundation as a mathematician, but more importantly as a learner, so that they can carry these skills on to other classes, but also later in life. Okay. Our grade breakdown, we have 6 unit assessments that will be 50 points each. And for each unit, we will have one, we're calling it a check your understanding, or I think on Canvas, I'll show you in a little bit, it's called a dynamic review, that are 10 points each. We will have a midterm that is worth 25 points, and then our cumulative assessment at the end worth 50 points. All right. The grade will be calculated out of just the total points on all of these things. And missing assignments will have a 0 with a note that it has not been submitted. But once the attempt has been made, the grade will be updated, and there will be no late penalty for anything that is submitted late. Okay. In addition to those unit check your understanding assignments, there are daily practices assigned. Those daily practices, like it says, there are not calculated in the semester grade, but they are required for an attempt at a reassessment. And I'll talk about that in a little bit. But any of the daily practices and the check your understandings have at least 3 attempts for the students to receive whatever grade they would like. And within each of those attempts, students are able to check their answers before they submit the assignment to know if it's right or wrong. Okay, this not only helps build some confidence, but it also helps at the beginning when they're first attempting it, kind of helps them correct any errors or clear up any misconceptions that they might have about a skill. That way they're not continuously practicing the wrong thing. Okay. And those are open all semester until there it says December 18th, and they can be completed or reattempted at any point until then for up to full credit. All right, each unit assessment is also a student can retake an assessment regardless of the grade they get, but I am asking for a few things first. All right, they do need to be an active and engaged member of class. If I notice that they're on their phone or they're not engaging in a group activity or they're not using their class time wisely, I'll have a conversation with them. And if it persists, I will reach out. I will reach out to you to get a little support there. The daily practices and the check your understanding have to be completed before the originally scheduled test date. Okay, so for instance, our next assessment is going to be on Wednesday, September 6th. The daily practices and the check your understanding for chapter 2 have to be done by 11:59 p.m. on September 5th. All right, so that 11:59 the day before that assessment is, those all 4 or 5 of those assignments have to be completed. Okay. If they don't like their score on those, they can always go back and redo it at a later time, but they have to be submitted at least one attempt before that originally scheduled assessment date. Obviously, excused absences are acceptable, but the assessment has to be completed on the originally scheduled test date, and a strong effort has to be made on the first attempt. If somebody hands me in a test that's only half completed because they don't know the other material, that's not going to count as an authentic effort. Okay, they need to attempt, do their best, and then that way we have an idea of where we need to have a conversation over what skills, so that their second attempt they can show me what they know and what they've improved upon. All right. And then if they meet those requirements, we'll do one SRT will be making corrections on their assessment. They'll have a form to fill out to take home to you to look over, but then they can do their retake in another SRT. All right. If you've got any questions about those, I'll have some contact information at the end of this video that you can reach out to me. Okay. Right here, this first link on our Canvas homepage, Learning Modules, will take you to our modules, which every day that we have class, we'll have a module. The first link is always a daily agenda. All right, so on August 30th here, this was our to-do list, okay? Anything that we do in class that's on a document will be linked. Any presentations or that sort of thing will also be linked in this agenda. Okay, and then there's also a list of things that the students need to do before they come back to class, and then when the next assessment is. Okay, so obviously here Wednesday, September 6th is the next assessment for those Blue Day kids. But back to modules. This was our last day of new content for chapter 2. All right, but some other modules, you will also see a For Next class where it's got 2 links underneath. All right, this first link is a Google slide presentation of the notes that the students would need to complete at home. They can click through at their own pace, fill out their consumable textbook that in the appropriate section. All right, or they can pull up, this is just a PDF of the completed notes. All right. Last but not least is the Contact Me link. All right, should pull up a page that has my email, my classroom phone extension if it's urgent, and then a link to a Canvas inbox that can always be used. And then it's got a little bit of information about me and some pictures of my family. So like I said at the beginning, I'm looking forward to a good year. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me, and I am looking forward to helping your student become a strong learner and a strong mathematician this year.